Welcome to Collectivist, the global tech PR agency network for tech startups, scale-ups, and global brand giants. We are a network of PR, marketing, and communications agencies covering 6 continents and 40 countries across the US to the UK, EU, Eastern Europe, Middle East, Asia Pacific, and LATAM regions. And this is what you need to know. My name is Gavin Loader, and this is Future Gazing with Rahme Mehmet from TechComms.
My name is Gavin Loader, and we are Future Gazing with Rahme Mehmet from TechComms, who is one of our UK agencies. Rahme, are you ready to future gaze?
I am. I haven't got my crystal ball, but I'm ready to future gaze through my mind, that's for sure.
First question, looking ahead to next year, what are the very best tech marketing managers and PR managers going to be doing differently to this year?
A lot of the time in 2025, there's been so much emphasis on being able to improve the way in which you do your job right now. And I think for next year, there is going to be more use of AI for sure. I think AI technology is going to be utilized more, but in the right way to really make improvements. So I do think that's going to be something that people do differently in terms of not necessarily the hype around using AI to do these massive, huge transformational projects per se, but more around small practical benefits. So helping maybe automate certain work flows, or should I say certain work to be more, I guess, more achieved more in an efficient way. So ensuring that automation is there to eliminate some of those repetitive roles. I think that's where there'll be some things done differently. And this, I guess in our field, in the PR world, we're starting to do that more and more. Like we deployed Otter this year. We haven't used it prior to this year, but what we did do is we found ways in which we're using the tool to improve efficiencies, but not necessarily using it for everything and everything. Right. Because there is still a human element required, even when you're using a technology like Otter. So making sure that you're utilizing AI, I think the different thing is utilizing it in the way in which you are genuinely improving the way in which you're doing things and enhancing what you're doing. So I think tech brands and marketers in the future, or next year, if not already started at the end of this year, is making sure they're using it in the right way.
If I had to ask you for one big bold prediction, it sounds like for you that's going to be around AI, but not big transformational projects. This is going to be around AI chipping away at our processes and our procedures and the way we work. Maybe a slightly slower adoption of AI than maybe some other people are predicting.
Yeah, that could be one way of looking at it, slower adoption of AI. But I think when I was thinking biggest, boldest predictions, I actually would say one of the biggest things that I think is going to be disrupting the PR world is going to be the use of generated AI content and the backlash that's going to happen within the industry. I feel as though editors, reporters, and people that work in the media, they're going to get increasingly frustrated, I think, from those that try and create content and thought leadership with AI. Yeah. And I feel as though what's the pushback that they're going to have is providing more policy around the type of content they are willing to accept from, thought leaders, PR agencies, or in-house content creators. So I do, and that also falls into, I guess, being able to use AI in the most effective and efficient way. So where I think there's going to be big pushback is going to be on those that are trying to almost pull the wool over people's eyes in the media landscape on providing content that isn't real thought leadership. And that's going to mean that those PR agencies or PR professionals that are working with the media, the ones that are doing things correctly are going to definitely stand out, and the ones that are potentially trying to cut corners are going to get blacklisted from the media landscape. So that's what I think will happen. And, you know, us as agency owners and work in the industry, we have certain standards that we work to. And I feel as though if we're starting to see this happen with our clients, we're also going to have to push back, because there is an issue with damaging reputations, and that's not something that I think, you know, real PR, I would say, experts or those that do do see themselves as professionals in what they do will not accept.
No.
So that's what I think will be one of my boldest predictions for next year, because I think it's starting now, but it's going to continue into next year.
How will how will AI impact your campaigns going forward? How will it shape expectations from clients? What will a campaign look like next year with an AI element to it?
The way in which the way in which we will see how AI will be utilized is more for what I would refer to as PR insights.
Yep.
So you'll be able to create insights or research, let's say, using tools to be able to help with some of the strategy. So I do think, if, for example, if your client is asking you to look at a brand or look into some competitors, you could use AI to gather insights as a tool, an AI tool to generate sort of research outputs or even analyze some of the research. However, there'll still be an element of using traditional methods, because AI is going to be restricted with certain content that it can generate from or use, but you still have to have an element of what you would do before to maybe feed into an AI tool to help generate some research. So that will help you become a lot faster at what you do, and it allows you to analyze information in a much faster way. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're asking an AI to do it for you. So that's how I think things will improve, really, and how things could change in the industry in terms of, creating campaigns that are more in line with what your clients are looking for.
Again, campaigns for next year, is there going to be, what would a dream campaign be? What do you enjoy working on? What kind of clients do you like working on, or would you want to work on, I should say, for next year?
First and foremost, a client that has clear objectives. I think that's really important for us. We need to know what we're measuring against. So a client that really understands what it is that they're looking to achieve, and then we will align the strategy and implement a service that's going to meet that objective and be able to hopefully achieve more than the expectation is. Also, a client, I would say, that's got longevity. I said, when we've got retainer clients that are a 12-month period of time and they have clear objectives, then that excites us, because we know we're working towards something that doesn't just look at things in a short-sighted way, but it also has the time for us to measure against. So it all comes back to having clear objectives, having the time to achieve those objectives, and really being able to show our worth. So that's, I would say, are the three areas, that's for sure, that excites us, because when we're working with clients like that, we're able to show what we can really do for them and really measure against that, and be able to be able to achieve their objectives within their company.
So tell me about the thought leadership topics or issues that your clients are going to be focusing on next year, or should be focusing on. I almost feel like I should ask this question and say, and you're not allowed to mention AI.
Security is definitely one of the core areas and topics that we are going to be focusing on more next year, have been this year, but it will continue to be a theme around the clients that we work with. Compliance and governance, I think, are two other areas that are very strong areas for us. Fraud is another area. I know there's a theme
Yeah.
amongst the clients that we work with. I guess another important topic for us is crisis communications. So a lot of the clients that we work with, they are more at risk, and therefore they need to also be aware and prepared for any forms of crisis to maintain their reputation. A lot of the clients we work with, they're at risk for outages, they're at risk for cyber breaches. So that's a really key area for us as well in terms of trends and content around thought leadership for our clients. The only AI I will mention is shadow AI. I think that's if we had to mention AI, that is a huge, huge problem, I think, now and will continue to be, unless policies are put in place by businesses, and some of the clients that we work with are talking to this topic on how to deploy AI and ensure that there's a strict way of working with AI within your company, and how employees should engage with AI. So I guess that's the only element of AI that I would talk about. But broadly speaking, those are the core areas that I think a lot of the big trends are going to be around for our clients.
Only because you mentioned it. I was going to come on to measurement later, but you mentioned KPI.
Okay.
You mentioned KPI, so I'll ask you early. Is that going to change as well? I mean, have you got clients already asking you about LLMs, for example, and the way they show up in ChatGPT, or do you think we'll still be measuring your work in the same way we're measuring it this year? Do you see any change? Do you foresee any changes?
I do think there has been change this year, and there will continue to be change. That's for sure. I do think there's more awareness that having the correct measurement in place is vital, and we're moving away just from sort of coverage hits and the number of coverage hits that you need to achieve to show success in PR. Our clients, I think one of the areas that they really focus on with us is measuring the message pull through. Right. So helping them define what the core messaging they need to be able to achieve in their PR, and to ensure that messaging aligns to who they're trying to target in terms of their customer profiles. Sure. So I feel as though that messaging is important and vital, not only to ensure that the messaging is in the right publications, because those right publications would be hopefully the source for where these these LLM. AI and LLM models will pull from.
Yeah.
So and we are finding clients are using searching on these models as a way in which that they are looking to see if they're ranking with the right words, and are being pulled in with the right sources. So they're seeing the value. We need to ensure that the messaging is right to be in the right content space for these models to pull from. And I guess the second point around this is it's not just going to be through these models. That's just one of many. A search is still a very important tool, and ensuring that you're still ranking high for certain content and words within search is still just as important. It's just that we now have another form of measurement.
Yeah.
So that's where I think there's still going to be the value still comes in to ensuring that a company is being picked up in the right places, but also what's been produced and written about them is correct and relevant to where they want to be.
Last question. When we do this again next year, December 2026,
right,
what is going to be the best thing that happened to your agency? What will you be celebrating?
We'll be celebrating increasing clients. We've got ambitious goals to increase our client portfolio, increase professionals that are going to join our industry, hopefully So have more people as part of the team, have more clients and a variation of clients. And I guess the important thing is also to enjoy ourselves along the way. So make sure that we have fun as we get through next year. So that's what I'm hopefully going to be in a position to say we've had a great time, and we've also got some great new clients and great people that we're working with.
We've had a great time. I love it. That's it.
I'm
You made it. You're done.
done. Oh, good. Okay. But you do find that people are still committed to attend.
Yeah.
More and more so now because they're seeing the value of human connection. So maybe there's more value in human connection because of the uprise in AI.
Yeah. I think we've just nailed your big bold prediction, Rahme, right at the end. The human connection is going to fight back against AI.
I definitely think so. I'm a big believer.